right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
It's been almost, 11 years? 10, 11 years that we've been working to get rid of this eyesore.
A long time coming in North St. Louis County. The demolition of Jamestown Mall now moving forward.
Nice night, and a great Saturday is on the way, but Big Heat builds back before the end of the month.
But first tonight, ending violence in St. Louis.
We can begin the ripple effect that changes the city.
Tonight, former felons sit down with youth. The action plan to deter teens from crime. Good evening, I'm Brent Solomon. Ann has the night off. Tonight, the work to turn things around. A community effort now underway to connect former offenders with youth so that they don't repeat the mistakes they made years ago.
There's trauma, there's substance abuse, and there's also criminal behavior that all forms are under the same umbrella.
A community roundtable to first start the conversation.
It's happening everywhere where we're losing our youth.
And then take action.
Everybody knows somebody that's doing wrong. Just have a bug and put a bug in there so they can do it right.
Darren Sills with the Sankofa Unity Center is front and center because he realizes his mistakes.
I messed it up. I did some things, did some destruction.
Older and wiser now, he wants to reach the youth. Friday, he brought together former criminals to come up with a game plan to tackle crime in St. Louis. It started with an open dialogue about trauma, something that's often not publicly talked about in groups like this. He says that's when the solutions can start.
Back in the day, you had the boom box, and now you got the guns. So we're trying to redirect that.
Sills is working to retrain young minds, promoting guns as something adults have for protection and hunting, not to commit crime.
I'm tired.
It's why Dwayne D.T. Tolan is here. He's invested in the mission. He sold drugs as a teenager. Now he's working to mentor teens so they won't live his story.
We need to reach the boys that are actually committing the crimes, the ones that are actually doing the murders and things of that sort. This is where it starts.
Bridge that gap, get the communication going, and hopefully start some healing.
And the work is not over. Tomorrow the group will gather to hit the streets, going into the heart of the community to have one-on-one conversations with young people. Developing tonight, a motorcyclist is dead after crashing into a semi-truck. It happened just before 6:30 on westbound 44 near Jefferson Avenue. The man was taken to the hospital where he died. That crash is under investigation. Tonight, a part of the Del Mar Loop is closed due to a water main break. It broke just before 4 o'clock on Del Mar Boulevard near Fitz's and Blueberry Hill. Crews had to close the road there between Leland and Westgate. The loop trolley was also shut down and water service turned off. Officials tell 5 on Your Side Del Mar is expected to reopen in the morning. Time now for your Weather First forecast, but first taking a live look over downtown St. Louis. A comfortable night in the bi-state, kicking off a pretty nice weekend. So how long will these cooler temperatures stick around? Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell is back from the fair with that.
Yeah, and it's going to heat up as we head into next week, but this weekend it's a little bit at or below average temperature-wise, and we'll certainly take that. And if you haven't been outside this evening, wait till you do step outside. Tonight, tomorrow morning, it is going to be absolutely outstanding. We already have temperatures away from town that are sliding back into the 60s right now. Warrenton's at 66. DeSoto's down to 67. So is Farmington. Over in Salem, Illinois, it's 69. Alton, 68. Yes, there are still a couple of scattered clouds here and there, but they've trended towards moving out, and that system's sliding away. So the bottom line is, our temperatures in some of the coolest spots overnight under this mostly clear sky and with fairly light winds could drop into the upper 50s. A very comfortable start for us early on Saturday. It's a bright, warm Saturday afternoon, but Saturday evening and into Saturday night and Sunday, we might see a spot shower or thunderstorm at a couple of places, but that's about it. It doesn't look like anything widespread, and certainly not to the extent that we saw last weekend. We'll talk more about that heat building coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Scott, we'll see you shortly. Well, the site of the former Jamestown Mall is about to receive new life. For years now, neighbors and community leaders say the vacant property has led to blight. New tonight, Robert Townsend explains the changes that are on the way.
St. Louis County Councilwoman and Chair Shalonda Webb has been waiting to see the former Jamestown Mall torn down.
Let's take it down.
And now Webb is thrilled because that's one step closer to becoming a reality.
This is just one thing that we can do right by this community.
The 145-acre mall first opened in 1973. Councilwoman Webb says it had to shut down in 2014 due to several factors, including major companies moving out of the area or downsizing.
We're hoping to have some residential, some senior living retail spots, and also maybe some unique eateries. We're also understanding that it'll never be a mall again.
The St. Louis County Port Authority owns the abandoned site. It has now accepted a $7 million bid from a South Carolina company to demolish the derelict property. Neighbors and county leaders have called an eyesore, even a safety hazard. In recent months, there have been 2 fires at the former shopping center. Councilwoman Webb tells me so far more than a half dozen developers have expressed interest in this property. You bet she and the people who live around here have high hopes about what they may see spring up here in the future.
Hopefully they'll do something positive for the area.
Antoine Bufford's parents live near the site, now plagued with graffiti, busted out windows, and overgrown brush.
I really say shopping is still needed. Grocery stores that's closer.
For now, they're counting down to demolition day, which Webb says should come by early fall.
It's a whole celebration for the first wrecking ball that goes through it.
Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
And Councilwoman Webb says in a few weeks, the St. Louis Port Authority and a group out of South Carolina will finalize paperwork to demolish the former mall. Right now, U.S. Marshals are asking for your help to find a Bethalto man who they believe killed his girlfriend. It happened in Springfield, Illinois. Investigators say on July 11th, 25-year-old Gabriel Calixto stabbed Emma Schaefer multiple times before leaving the area. 5 on your side has learned he has a lengthy criminal history, including a 2018 conviction in Madison County for kidnapping. That conviction was overturned in 2020. He was also arrested in 2021 for illegally entering the country. As the search continues, friends of Schaefer say she was a shining light.
Emma was a daughter, a sister, an aunt, affectionately called Auntie M, a loving and protective friend, and a fierce and supportive ally.
She had an irresistible zest for life and for her calling, which was to promote social justice.
Calixto faces 3 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of aggravated domestic battery. If you've seen him or you know where he is, call the Springfield, Illinois Police or Crime Stoppers. Tonight, a suspect accused in a deadly shooting in Overland is behind bars. Today, the Major Case Squad announced Gavin Simmons is arrested in the death of Gersain Ruggiero Rodriguez. Overland police arrived at the scene just after 11:30 Tuesday. This is on Baltimore Avenue near Midland Boulevard. Simmons is charged with first-degree murder and armed criminal action. Tonight, several members of a southeastern drug trafficking organization are indicted on federal drug charges. The U.S. Attorney's Office says 19 members of the Charleston gang, Just Bout Money, are accused of being the main supplier of meth and fentanyl to the region. Each face a charge of conspiracy to distribute and possess with the intent to distribute controlled substances. Tonight, the only trauma center in North St. Louis County is facing cuts. SSM Health says the Level 2 Trauma Center will now be discontinued come fall, and that's due to low numbers. It means patients with gunshot wounds, stab wounds, or those in serious accidents will need to be transferred to another trauma hospital. We spoke with area first responders who say they'll now have to drive even further to get patients crucial care.
We're going to have to adjust rather than just a simple load, go, and stabilize en route. We're going to have to look at, more fluid volume, using different drugs that are out there to try to utilize clot enhancement medications.
This change will happen come September 10th. DePaul Hospital says it will continue to serve as a Level 1 center for treating strokes and heart attacks. Tonight, a grocery store that serves a North St. Louis community is actually closed just moments after it opened. And I should say this is in North County. Fields Foods in Pagedale abruptly shut its doors this week. The location opened in March with the goal of helping serve a community considered a food desert. While the community is devastated about the closure, some say they saw the writing on the wall.
Well, we kind of could see something was going on with the lack of cars being on the lot and people complaining about the lack of food on the shelves.
As for what's next, Beyond Housing is hoping to make an announcement within a week that something else will be coming there. Krameyer, who you just heard from, says they're confident the Pagedale community can support a grocery store. They just hope to find the right operator. Today, Boeing announced plans to expand operations in North St. Louis County. According to our partners at the St. Louis Business Journal, the project will be located in Berkeley, near St. Louis Lambert Airport. Dubbed Project Voyager, plans call for the construction of multiple buildings with a capital investment of $1.8 billion. It is estimated to create 500 new jobs over several years.
Keeping the weeds at bay. Consumer Reports has the tips and tools to protect your landscape this summer and beyond.
Yeah, we kind of like the idea of walking into Oppenheimer with full pink. So it's the Barbenheimer experience.
A unique double feature taking over movie theaters. 2 potential blockbusters opening on the same day. How you can best enjoy Barbenheimer.
It's definitely top-down weather for the Barbie convertible Saturday. The timeline on when the searing heat returns.
Tonight, a trial date is set in former President Donald Trump's classified documents case. Today, a federal judge in Florida set the trial for May 20th, 2024. That is a compromise between a request from prosecutors to set the trial for December and the defense, who wanted to schedule it after the 2024 election. The date follows a separate New York trial for Trump on state charges of falsifying business records. Well, the future of artificial intelligence, the topic of discussion at the White House today. President Biden met with the heads of 7 tech companies as AI becomes a growing part of society. Mr. Biden announcing voluntary commitments to improve safety, security, and transparency.
Companies have an obligation to make sure their technology is safe before releasing it to the public.
Well, the Biden administration is working on an executive order right now and pressing Congress for new legislation to guide rapid innovation. Meanwhile, lawmakers have been holding a series of hearings on the effects of AI from the military to human rights. Well, many of us are trying to beat back, cut down, and keep up with our growing grasses, plants, and weeds. Consumer Reports lawn and garden experts share tips and tools to help set you up for a lovely landscape this season and beyond. Here's Mike Bush.
Whether you need to cut it, trim it, or water it, the testers at Consumer Reports log hours and acres every year evaluating lawn and garden products to help you pick the best for your yard, starting with lawn mowers.
It's easy to get distracted by the features that some of these units come with, but if you've got a quarter acre or less, the basic unit will cut your lawn and keep it looking great throughout the summer.
Go green and get a mower with top scores for even cutting, mulching, and handling with this electric battery-powered Skill. But grass isn't the only thing growing between you and your perfectly landscaped yard. A good string trimmer can help keep weeds at bay and tidy up your outdoor space. CR checks to see how well a string trimmer can handle tall grasses and weeds, and how quickly and neatly each one can trim along a walkway. Its latest tests reveal electric, battery-powered models are the trimmers to beat.
The great thing about these battery platforms is that most manufacturers are offering a variety of products that work with the same battery.
This Ego string trimmer earns top scores across the board, and you can use that same battery and charger for Ego's electric hedge trimmers. And finally, to keep your lawn and plants hydrated, consider a smart hose timer.
Smart hose timers are basically just timers you can control on your phone. It helps with making sure that you're not overwatering your plants.
This Devu Smart Sprinkler is an affordable option that works well with Amazon Alexa and Google Home. Now all you have to do is remember to sit back and enjoy your yard this summer.
All right. A chainsaw, by the way, can also come in handy when cleaning up fallen branches and limbs after summer storms. CR also recommends the chainsaw in Ego's electric lawn tool lineup. All right, what's sweeter than a cool treat on a hot summer day? How about sharing it with your pet? Some snacks are actually safer than others. As we continue digging into what you need to know during these dog days of summer, Abby Larico joins us now to verify.
Popsicles, ice cream, fresh fruit, and icy cold beverage. Treats aren't just for pets in the summertime, but which ones are just for people? We checked in with these sources to verify the fast facts. Frozen treats can be okay, but beware of anything that's sugar-free. If it's sweetened with xylitol, that's dangerous for pets. Ice cream can be okay as well, but avoid chocolate, and all the sugar and dairy could be tough on some pups' bellies.
Ones that are intended for dogs might be a little bit safer and kinder on the gastrointestinal tract, but again, there may be some dogs that don't tolerate that and still get GI upset.
Some fresh fruits can be a refreshing, healthier alternative to typical treats. Still, keep sugar content and portions in mind, though. Watermelon, cucumbers, pineapples, berries. The ASPCA labels all of these as pet-safe snacks, removing seeds, stems, and peels.
They usually get excited about things that are different and not routine.
Do not share citrus or grapes. You might love an icy cold drink, and dropping some ice cubes into your pet's water bowl is a good way to keep the water from getting too hot. But our vets say if the water is too icy, it could lead to an upset stomach, and very cold water shouldn't be used to cool a very hot dog who's showing signs of heat stroke.
You don't want to cool them down rapidly, okay, because that really can lead to shock situations to different organs, and it can be a bad situation.
Also, our experts remind us dogs cannot safely metabolize alcohol. It can be deadly. So when you're out sipping a tasty adult beverage, keep it to yourself and ask for a water bowl for your pet instead. With your Verify, I'm Abby Larico.
All right, so what can we verify for you? Email us at verify@ksdk.com. The Jefferson County Fair is underway right now in Hillsboro, and it's got all your fair staples like animals, live music, carnival rides, and food. The fair runs until Sunday at the Jefferson County Fairgrounds. That's on Missouri Highway 21. And I tell you who spent the day there today. Chief Meteorologist Scott Cano. You just got back, Scott.
Yes.
And my goodness, me and Corey were remarking earlier, we saw you with the goats. We saw you with an owl. I mean, what did you not come in contact with?
Yeah, there were a lot of animals down there, as there are at, pretty much any country fair or any county fair. A lot of fun, but also a lot of food, and the weather was so nice. Yeah. That's the cool thing. Literally, a cool thing tonight. It's down into the 60s. Clay Walker is still on stage. And by the way, if you were thinking about going to the Jefferson County Fair, this week they had a lot of rain down there, so they didn't get everything in they wanted to get it. They are extending the hours tomorrow as well as Sunday to open at noon early, so you can still get in and enjoy the rides and have a lot of fun. And there are some splendid food trucks there. Highly recommend the Whisker Fish or Fish and Whiskers or whatever it was. Yes. So here you are across the bi-state area. Temperatures, well, they're back into the 70s in town, 60s in the outlying areas tonight. We were at 81 this afternoon for the high. With all that cloud cover that was around and even some sprinkles and lighter showers to our south, we just had a hard time kind of getting rid of that cloud cover for a while, but a hard time warming much. So temperatures southeast of St. Louis stayed in the 70s all day long. It'd be nice to keep the pleasant weather for a while, but we know out west the searing heat has been across much of Arizona. A little bit of a break across Texas, but that's not lasting either. The whole upper level pattern will be shifting over the next couple of days, and as it does so, it's going to open the door for us to see some pretty substantial heat once again. 75 degrees right now at Lambert, but there's your dew point, 61. Yesterday afternoon, the dew point was 74. That's a measure of how much moisture is really in the air, and so it was thick. 81 and 68, the numbers for the day. No rain at Lambert today, and most of what fell to the south of town really didn't measure much. Comfy, mainly clear for the rest of the night. Upper 50s in the coolest spots. Getting out the door tomorrow morning. Temperatures are back into the mid-80s tomorrow afternoon. There'll be a few afternoon clouds around, but still a really nice day. Again, if you're going to the fair tomorrow, grab the sunscreen, low humidity, pleasant sunshine, comfortably warm. Sunday, there's a stray chance of a shower or thunderstorm, but we're not talking about a lot of rain here as we head towards Sunday. Saturday, most of it staying up to our north and northwest. Maybe some spot showers and thunderstorms. That little disturbance still trying to make it through here on Sunday. We haven't completely changed the overall weather scenario. That happens as we head towards the end of the week, and as this big upper level ridge that's been out to our south and west finally starts to expand, it's expected to build over us by Thursday into Friday into Saturday and push our temperatures close to 100 for afternoon highs. No records in here, we don't think, heading into the end of the week, but temperatures are close to 100 degrees for the high for sure. So basically, not a lot of storm chances for the next several days. Comfortable this weekend, and then it gets hot again.
Yeah, we better enjoy these 80s while we can.
Yeah, you should.
Thank you, my friend. We've got Corey standing by with sports.
Well, it's an awesome night for soccer in America and a busy and frustrating day for the Cardinals in Chicago. Stick around, sports is next.
The Sports Desk is sponsored by Jim Butler Chevrolet, the Midwest's #1 Chevy dealer 10 years running.
Well, if you love soccer, tonight was the night for you. 2 big events to follow and some big-time City SC news as well, which is, of course, where we start in this soccer smorgasbord. The top team in the Western Conference has a new addition. Welcome to St. Louis, Nökkvi Thoresen. He's a 23-year-old attacker from Iceland who has 8 goals and 3 assists in 30 matches with his previous club in Belgium this year. Thoresen is signed with City through the 2025 season with an option for 2026 and will help to fortify the offensive attack as City surges towards the playoffs.
Please welcome to the pitch for the first time in Rosarino, número 10, Lionel Messi!
It was debut night for Lionel Messi in Miami to kick off the League's Cup, and they call him the GOAT for a reason. Stoppage time, tie game, free kick, and Messi buries it to give Miami a thrilling walk-off victory. You cannot write a script like that, my goodness. Messi's debut in Miami was impressive, and so was Sophia Smith's debut for Team USA in the World Cup. Can't show you highlights yet, but the 22-year-old Smith scored twice for Team USA in tonight's group stage match against Vietnam. The heavily favored Americans had a good start. They win their first World Cup game 3-0. The Cardinals had a busy day as well. They traded Genesis Cabrera to the Blue Jays for a 19-year-old catching prospect and then took on the Cubs looking for their 7th straight win. But that didn't happen, and at least one of the reasons why was a bit outside of their control. Jack Flaherty was on the hill, 6 innings, 4 earned runs. This was Chicago's biggest blast. Cody Bellinger crushes one off Flaherty. That made it 4-1 at that point. Cardinals would claw back. Nolan Arenado stays hot with a 2 RBI single. That made it 4-3. But let's get to what everybody's talking about. Bases loaded, 1 out in the 8th inning. Alec Burleson up. Cards were only down 1. The count's 3-0. He takes 2 pitches, not even close to the strike zone. But Ron Kolpa calls them both strikes. Then, of course, Burleson has to chase, and he grounds into an inning-ending double play. Burley gets ejected, and the Cardinals go on to lose by that score, 4-3. Their win streak is halted at 6. The trade deadline is just a week and a half away. Which outfielders will be on this Cardinals team when the dust settles? Is it almost a foregone conclusion that either Tyler O'Neill or Dylan Carlson will be on their way out of town by August 1st? Our Cardinals insider thinks that scenario is likely.
And there's just been a logjam of outfielders pretty much the whole season, even with Tyler O'Neill missing nearly 3 months with that back injury. Now that O'Neill is activated off the IL and cleared to play, the Cardinals are going to play him in left field every day because they need to see what they have in him, and they could possibly also be showcasing him for other trades. I think Carlson is a really intriguing trade candidate because he's so young. He's just 24. He has 3 years of team control remaining. And again, that versatility, Corey, contending teams are really going to want in on that.
The Scott Rowland Hall of Fame Countdown Week marches on. Tonight I've got the second best career moment for Rowland, the 2006 World Series. Rowland hit this bomb in Game 1 off Justin Verlander to help the Cardinals start the series off with a win, and then went on to hit .421 in the 5 games in the series, en route to his first and only World Series title. Cannot wait to see Scott Rowland go into Cooperstown this weekend. Brett, that is it for sports tonight.
Pretty exciting stuff there, my friend. Thank you, Corey. Barbenheimer is sweeping the nation. How you can enjoy the unlikely double feature. Well, what started as an internet meme has become one of the most anticipated movie events of the year. It's opening night for Barbie and Oppenheimer, which are already drawing big crowds. Many people are going to watch both movies in a unique double feature dubbed Barbenheimer. Both films can be watched at the Alamo Drafthouse at City Foundry. We asked them, what movie should you see first?
I'd go see Barbie first because it's a little shorter. You can get your specialty cocktail up at the bar and then come back for that 3-hour-long Oppenheimer and come relax, get your dinner.
More than 200,000 people in North America are expected to see both Barbie and Oppenheimer on the same day. That's your news at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next. We hope you have a great night and weekend.